Hi, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to go ahead and start a new project. Now, one of the things you may have noticed when you look around the shop in previous episodes, I got a lot of stuff everywhere. And I do have a huge storage problem, like most shops do. One of the biggest problems I have is that I have router stuff scattered everywhere. Over the years, I've collected a number of routers. I have a lot of bits and other accessories. On top of that, I also have a shaper that my father gave me when he downsized. So what I would like to do is build a router table that will contain everything and be able to put it in one place, so I can go one place to get it instead of a cabinet over here, one down under here, up on the shelf here, back over there. I just want one central place to do it. As you can see, my current router table is located on the extension wing of my table saw. This is just a particle board table that's starting to warp over the years, so I can't get real accurate cuts. I just have a plastic top with the router base attached to it, and anytime I want to make an adjustment or install a bit, I have to reach down underneath with wrenches or whatever, and that's just really not a practical way to do it. Additionally, I have to turn the fence around and then install this router table fence that I made, and it does all right, although it's not the perfect thing. One of the problems that occur is that you might do a test cut and then you need to, say, clean up a board, and you got to use the table saw to do it. Well, that means if you need the fence, you got to take the fence down. What a hassle. So I'm hoping to build a router table that will allow me to have a good top. In fact, I got a nice phenolic router table top for it from Woodpeckers, as well as one of their adjustable inserts that I'll be able to raise and lower the router bit and do everything I want to do from above the table instead of having to reach down underneath. I'm also planning on building a lot of storage into this router table to hold all the router bits and my shaper bits and all the other routers, so I have one place to go for that. And hopefully if I do that, I can kind of clear some of the other junk off the tables around.
Before we get started today, I would like to take a moment to talk about shop safety. Be sure to read, understand, and follow all the safety instructions that come with your power tools. And if you don't know how to operate something, find somebody that's competent that can teach you how to do it correctly. And remember, there's no more important safety rule than this: your brain. Because a poke in the eye with a sharp stick really hurts.
The project is going to be made primarily out of MDO. I'll start by cutting the carcass sides on the table saw. Cut it to length, I'll just be using a straight edge clamp to the board and my circular saw.
Well, I got all the pieces cut for the carcass. The big piece in front of me are the two sides, and I've left that together so that I can cut the dados in it. I'm just using a real simple dado cutting jig, and I actually got it from the Wood Whisperer, so you can check that out if you want to make something similar to this. But the reason I did this, left these together, is once I'm done cutting the dados, I can cut this in half and put them together, and I'll have my dados will align perfectly. So to cut the dados, I just have a 1/2 inch spiral cutting bit with a 5/8 collar in the router. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's see how we did. perfect slip fit dado. Just what I was looking for. All right, one more to go. Now that the dados are done, I can rip the piece to final width. Now that the dados are cut and the two sides of the carcass have been split in half, I can now cut the dados or the rabbets to receive the back. Well, I got all the pieces cut out and all the dados made, and now I've gone ahead and done a dry fit and kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. This area compartment up here, this will be for the power supply and the raising and lowering unit, and we'll see that here in just a little bit. The dimensions of the case were based on the size of the top that I got, which was 43 by 27. I wanted to make sure I had at least 2 inches all the way around if I needed to clamp something on, but then I also need to make sure that I had room for mounting into the holes of the phenolic top that I purchased. So I'll go ahead and take this apart. I still have to cut the back piece to hold it square. I'll do that, and then we'll be ready for some assembly. We're now ready to assemble the carcass. I'm going to be using glue and some finishing nails to hold it while the glue dries. And of course, it also means a music montage. Well, that's all we have time for today. Next time, we'll go ahead, mount the top, put in the router insert, and get that all wired and set up. And we'll also build a mobile base for this router table. As usual, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to email me. Until then, keep it level, plumb, and square.